Hey everybody, Scott here from the Dirt Chimps. I'm at Vernon Motorsports in the side of their shop. There's a little bit of shade. I want to show you where I'm going today.
Hey boys, good to see you back! Why don't you come on in for a little tea and strumpets? Maybe leaving a little pin in the tail on the donkey.
And this mountaintop does not disappoint. Can't talk, a little busy. Okay, what we've got here is Dainty, my GSA 1250, fully loaded with camping gear, 3 days worth of food. I got everything except excess water. Here's the plan. I'm starting in Vernon. I'm going to go past Falkland and Westwall. Then I'm going to hit the dirt and go out to Douglas Lake Ranch, which will kick me down in Merritt, back on the pavement, go over here to Lytton. Go past Spence's Bridge, that's cool, Lytton. And then I'm going to camp over here somewhere tonight. There's a whole bunch of campsites. And then we're going to go up to Lillooet, and then out to Braylorne and back again. I'll probably camp out there or in here. There might be a really cool adventure I'll do here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it by myself. And then head back, boom, 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 Kamloops, go up to Barrier, and then there's a cool haul road that goes by Adams Lake, and then zoom, come on home. So it should be 2 nights, 3 days, 1,000 kilometers. Sweet. Very pretty out here, and I'm really pleasantly surprised with how well the bike handles the little bumps. I was in some washboard back there, like really quite aggressive washboard. I barely felt it. I was like, what? But we'll see how it handles some of the rougher terrain that I won't be taking on this trip, but as I work it up into the 2s and the 3s. This is my BDR bike. I want to be able to go down to the States, ride BDRs, and ride all the way home and do it in comfort. I think this is going to tick all the boxes. If I do convert the front tire to a 21-inch, that's just to help roll over some things. Some of the BDRs I really like the Southern California BDR, has a lot of really deep sand, and this smaller tire with a smaller contact patch doesn't do all that well in the sand. That's the one drawback that I've heard of. I haven't experienced any of it. I'm just telling you what I've heard on YouTube and read. So I'm really excited about the journey ahead. So far, I absolutely love this bike. I so wasn't a BMW guy, but that just means I didn't know any better. I knew nothing. I still know nothing, other than the fact that I love this bike. Yeah. Cool, I just did 2 things. I put my windshield down by cranking that thing in, because I'm standing anyways, and I turned my mode into Enduro Pro. It was in Dynamic Pro, which is the most spicy, programmable road mode, and Enduro Pro just means programmable. So I've got things set up, and I can get a little bit of wheel slip, and it feels great. Down off the plateau and look at scenery's change. Stunning, fast rolling road. I'm behaving myself. It's 35 degrees Celsius already now. It's pretty warm, so you gotta drink lots of water and take the periodic salt tablet that I've been talking about. So not excessively sweating, and I can't even tell. It's 35 degrees, 36, sorry. So you know you're sweating. A lot of evaporative cooling. I'm very comfortable. It's great, just gotta stay on top of that sodium. Well, this is a cool little place at Spence's Bridge. I don't know if it's open or not, but last weekend we were working on one of the bikes under that tree because it broke down. Yeah. All right, the restaurant was open, but I'm going to push through to my campsite. I got a Gatorade, but if you've been listening to some of our other videos, that Gatorade has a little bit of sodium in it, but nowhere near what I need. I've been sweating like crazy. It's been 37 degrees. So I took two 250 milligram tablets of my sodium, slam that Gatorade to feel good, and I'm going to push through to my campground. This town was deeply affected by wildfires several years ago. I bet there was all kinds of stuff right here. Now it's just all construction fences and poles and... Check this out. We're going to take a ferry across the Fraser River. I think it's a Fraser. What do I know? And go up on the other side, find a campsite. Yeah, sidecar here says this is indeed the Fraser River. Here we go onto the, the dodgy ferry. Here we are. Okay. Here we go. This water's cooking too. Spin me out. So much of it's done with just the rudder, angling the pontoon, so current pulls us over and then boom, done. In 3 minutes. Got a fish, look at that. Nice. Well, I'm kind of following the signs, but maybe because the fire went through here, nobody comes here right now, or maybe I missed a closed sign, I don't know. I think that branch here should have been whacked by trucks coming in. Huh. Oh my goodness. This might be a nice little jackpot I just found here. Oh, there's no camping. That explains a lot. Let's take a look. Huh. Looks like a vigorous hike to me. So here's the deal. I'm parked here and there's all these campsites as you go in further, but it's all hiking. And everything after this one is closed, if I'm reading this properly, because of the fires. But it looks like it would be a really neat place to come back and backpack and all that stuff. But hey, I'm not equipped to carry all that stuff and leave the bike here. So I'm gonna go onward. This is neat over here. I have lots of fuel. I have 300 kilometers of range to cover a 100-kilometer distance. So if it doesn't actually go through or the road's washed out at the north end, I can make it back. Let's hope that's not the case though. Wow. wider now, getting closer to Lillooet, something like 26, 27 kilometers. That's probably it for filming for a little bit. Turn the camera on, save some batteries for later tonight tomorrow. I've just pulled into a little campsite outside of Lillooet. I'm hoping there's space. I might have just got a spot here. There's a picnic table. All the really spot-looking spots are gone. This is kind of like an overflow-looking area. It's got a fire pit. Near the water, as in water pump. I'm happy with it. Hopefully I don't get kicked out. Quick look around camp. Tent, bike, dinner, water. Stinky stopped drying off. This is my little stove. Little tiny burner stove. Cool little teapot thing, a water boiling pot that I got in Japan. My water deflector, food, and this is what we're having tonight. Right there, that's it.
Okay, I've been doing a little packing. I just thought I'd show you guys what's going on here. Well, let's start with what I'm standing on. This tarp is a very thin tarp that goes underneath the tent. It's my previous tent, and it comes in handy all the time for getting changed or doing a tire change or whatever, so I keep that. Really a big fan of this squishy bum thing from Sea to Summit. Water bottles. My clothing goes in this compression sack by Peak Designs, and it's really clever the way it works. It's got a zipper that goes around several times, and it just goes. That's my sleeping quilt, which I didn't need at all. I didn't even unpack it last night. That's my entire tent, sleeping bag liner, pillow, and a separate sun/rain cooking under tarp sort of deal. Love these packing cubes by Patagonia. That's the large. So that's my entire tent, except for the poles. And then my Sea to Summit sleeping pad, which is brilliant. My entire kitchen's in there. And I'm just going to start jamming things in here and then pop, pop. I'll be ready to go in no time. Oh, one of my favorite things, these big Endurostan top rolls are just brilliant. Lots of stuff in here. Yeah, it's kind of crazy in there, so that's it. Time to get ready.
That's it for the campsite. I'm going to head back to Lillooet and then out to Braylorn. See that mountain landscape. Oh, it's the golden hour now. The sun is out and everything is beautiful and warm looking. I'm not getting beaten down by the heat. Yesterday in Lytton, it was 39 degrees. You know how hot that is? It's so hot. You're wearing these big dirt bike boots and armor and knee braces and everything. So when you're moving, you're wearing really breathable clothing, as I am, like the most breathable stuff I can get. That air just blows right through me and I get that evaporative cooling effect. That's why I still have to drink lots of water and salt tablets. This road is beautiful and twisty and a little bit bumpy in places like this. It's pretty cool. Isn't it great the first time you go and do something like this? Never the same after. First time you just have no idea what's around each corner. Nothing. I love it. I think we're going to be all the way down there in just a matter of minutes. Yeah, this sign tells me it's going to be steep. cool campsite that would be. Beautiful. I'll show you why I came down here. Ooh, sand. Scott takes a dab in the sand. Because of that cool looking bridge, that's why. Come on. Beautiful out here. I'm something like 10 kilometers away from Gold Bar, and I pulled off the road because there's this BC Hydro site. As it turns out, it's a campsite. Look how gorgeous it is. This is where I should have stayed last night. But I had to push on another hour. I just didn't know this existed. There's nobody here. It's gorgeous. All right. Let's skedaddle. Up here with the big aspen trees. Didn't expect that at all. We're pretty high up. Wow, pretty. Welcome to Braylorn. My first time here. Wow, tub. Well, this is a haul road that's just going up into the hills. I'm gonna turn around, and I think I know I saw the sign that goes back to Pemberton, which wasn't the way I was planning on going, but it's kind of cool to do a different sort of loop. I'll go Pemberton, then Highway 99, then back to Cache Creek. Exciting! Hi! I'm up on the Hurley Forest Service Road, which will take me from Goldbridge to Pemberton on a haul road, and it's got some pretty amazing scenery. This is Pemberton. Just left the downtown where I had a snack. I'm gonna head out to Lillooet again on Highway 99, which apparently is really good. And I'm just realizing on this trip one thing about our app that I don't like. This is sidecar, this is not the whole app. I want to just go plus, 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 minus, minus, minus. I don't want to pinch. Pinching with one good finger for the screen doesn't work. So watch for that coming soon. Lillooet over there, I just came out, headed up to Cache Creek, over to Kamloops, then to Adams Lake. All right. If you're at all interested in routes that I've done over, well, yesterday and today, and then it should continue to be interesting tomorrow, but all these are available to you in that Moto app. So you go to thatmotoapp.com and you join from there for free. You'll need this access code that'll be at the bottom of the screen now. And yeah, you can see all kinds of different people's rides. their literal rides, their motos, their mods, what they like, what they don't like, and then the journeys that they go on in their journal, their activities. Some people share their GPS tracks, some people have videos, lots of people have photos. It's just great to see all these cool rides that kind of match your interests. So if you're into adventure biking, that's what you're going to see. If you're into sport bike riding, that's what you're going to see. Right now, the vast majority of everything in there is adventure biking because it's our app. We built this sidecar, we built the big web platform, which is 20 times the size of that, and then we just launched it like 2 months ago to the people we know. The people that we know are pretty much all adventure bikers. Look what I got. Look what I got. There's nowhere to turn around here, and I can't even get off the bike. I gotta figure something out. I know I can get off the bike down here. Heck, I could just lean it against the picnic table if I have to. This is fantastic. Okay, I probably look like a crazy person, but that's all right. If the shoe fits, right? Look at this place. Here's all my stuff. Here's my crazy clapped out table. Tarzan swing, which you will not see me on. That's a D6 out of 6 there. My tent's gonna go right there. And I'm gonna go swim after I crack a tinny. All right. I am very lucky. See my cool tarp? Nice for getting undressed. My knee-high red socks that I won at the Alf Clausen ride. Ah, can't wait. Oh, so much better. I can't wait to get in the water. You're never gonna guess what I have in here. Ta-da! One final step. Get in the water. Really doing it. Oh! So happy. Look, there's that fire. This is an interesting view for a campsite. Good morning, everybody. I had an interesting night. It was really hot when I went to bed, so I didn't put the fly on, and I'm like, I'll watch the fire. Wake up in the middle of the night, it's raining down on me, so I had to get out and stumble around and hook that up and then crawl back into bed. Anyways, I thought this morning I'd go over a little bit more about the app. So this is Sidecar, not that moto app, the mothership, but Sidecar. I just wanted to show you a few things in the GPS section that have to do with the customization ability. Customization ability? Yeah, how it can be customized to match your particular needs. Okay, I'm inside the map right now. Let's show you what's on my screen. Over here in the bottom left, I've got this little gear icon. When I click that, it allows me to customize how I want this all to work. So first up at the top, you can see kilometers versus miles, what map style I want, dynamic zoom. Now that's where if you're going slow, you want a certain degree of zoom, like bring it right in, and then the faster you go, give me the context of where I am. So you can set those different dynamic zoom switch speeds, and then how much you want it to be zoomed in or out. Down the bottom, you can autosave. Tell Sidecar how often you want to autosave, because every time you do stuff like that, you use that battery, right? Over to visibility. When you highlight a track, you can choose what color you want it to be. That's just a matter of personal preference. And then your basic track is basically the track that you're not trying to follow, but all the other ones around you, you can choose that color as well. Lower on the screen, you can turn a whole bunch of things on or off. It's kind of like the just clean the slate, mass declutter, or show me everything. And then you can add or remove from there. I love that feature. It's one that I found that was really missing from other apps. Moving across the top again, I've got my UI. So on the home screen, you can choose which buttons to show or to hide, and that's what this is doing. Lower down, you can change the button size, which I really like. I've made some of my buttons much bigger because I find when I'm zooming along, I want to reach up and press a button. I don't want to have to be like, oh God, it's too tiny. So I've changed the size of some of those for the bigger. And then last, we have just the system tab. And there's only one thing in here. It's just you can keep the screen on all the time while Sidecar is running, and that's great, but it uses more battery.
but I think increasingly people are using their phones in such a way that it's plugged into an external battery pack, or like me, right into my bike, which is awesome. So for today's adventure, I'm going to hit the road right away. I'm going to have a little swim, finish packing up, and then I'll see ya. It is time to hit the road. You can hear the bike warming up. Got a bit of a climb out of here. Say goodbye to one of the most amazing campsites ever. I can touch the ground on both sides. That's so amazing. Not used to that. Bye guys! Yeah. This is the most challenging road I've been on this bike yet. It was like a 2. We'll experience it all in time. And it has been great. Like, what a cool bike that you can go do a bunch of slab, have fun, be comfortable, carry a ton of stuff, hit a haul road, do a ferry, you know, come down a big steep thing, go to a beach, unload all your stuff, have a great night, have a swim, load up all your crap, head back up, and you're gone. This is like an overlanding machine. Yeah, baby. Oops. I just realized I forgot to start my track. So here's sidecar, all the tools. You know, when I've been filming in portrait mode. This is landscape because that's the way it works with this cradle. All I have to do is go boom. It's recording. I can pause it. I never did show you guys this, but there are live stats. It's all good, buddy. Thank you. I'm going to go slow for a minute just so I can tell you a little bit about the intent behind sidecar here and how it stacks up against other apps. And when I mean apps, I mean navigation apps. It's not as good. It never intended to be. It's got a very particular purpose. So sidecar, 1, is free. 2, it's designed to work with that Moto app to record your rides in a ride-sharing fashion. You can use it for navigation, but it's not going to tell you how to get somewhere. It's more like you can follow existing tracks you've ridden before, tracks you've imported because maybe your buddy sent them to you or you downloaded my tracks. Very easy to follow. It's great for riding in an area with a high density of trail networks and you know what you want to ride, because you can highlight the one you want to ride and then you'll see all the other ones on the screen. You'll see those intersections, but you won't get confused because you know where you're supposed to go. Other apps don't do that as well. Depending on how I edit this, you might actually see that I've been using backroad map books periodically throughout this. And the reason being is, they're awesome. Like, come on. Backroad map book is what adventure bikers in BC use for navigation. I can turn on or off rec sites. That's exactly how I found the rec sites that I wanted to visit, even just stop by and look at, and the ones I wanted to stay at. So we're not asking you to leave backroad map books or Gaia or whatever. We're saying take this, it's free. It's got its own particular strengths. And then one of those strengths is that it works so well with that Moto app. If you go out and you ride with your buddies, you take pictures, you record things like this, you make waypoints, all that, it all gets imported into the web mothership for sharing or just being like your own personal scrapbook. I've gone back and looked at multiple rides like Baja and kind of relived it because I can open it up. It's not like I'm scrolling through all the stupid pictures on my phone. It's all my favorite pictures about the ride that I put into my account. So I hope that helps explain a little bit about the difference between Gaia and backroad map books. And OnX Off-Road, if they can ever get their Canadian side stuff working, unbelievable. They're so good. In fact, what I'm going to be doing in the coming weeks is reaching out to all those guys that have those much better navigation, those base layers and all that awesome stuff, and saying, let's talk about an integration. Because the more and more that
apps like these get built, the more we're building them in a way that they can play with other things. It's called API first. Now that's about as geeky as I ever get in a video, and about as geeky as I can handle in my brain. But we have designed this from the ground up to work with other people, and we're not afraid to create those really cool partnerships where 1 + 1 = 3. Come on, let's go, let's ride, let's go. Here is a perfect example of me using backroad map books to figure out where I'm going to go. So that's Highway 1. And yeah, see, Highway 1, that's me. I came from up there. I want to go down here. And here's a bunch of off-road areas, a couple of campsites I could look at. This is one of my routes. It will take me back to Vernon. I think it's pretty spicy that way, not so spicy that way. I'm by myself, so I'm going to go the not so spicy way. And we'll check it out, man. Cool, man. And one more thing. We have a couple of job postings at That Moto app. I think they could be like the absolute dream job for some people. One is more of a marketing job, and the other one is more of a hands-on wrenchy job. But there's all kinds of other cool stuff you can get into as well. There's an article inside thatmotoapp.com. So that's who we're looking for. My email address is in there. So if you're like, hey, that sounds pretty cool. What about this combination of things? I'd love to chat. We would love to chat. Okay, let's get out of here. Cool. Well, this might not go where I want it to go. I got off my trail for a minute there, and I'm like, you know what? This bike is not the easiest thing to turn around. So there's me on the map. Backroad map book doesn't even have this, and that's probably the gold standard for everything, right? So I wanted to be back on that trail. So I'm a little bit concerned when I see really sharp angles like that, because that means steep switch back. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't. Ooh, look at that view. Holy smokes. Stunning. One thing I don't like about riding with a huge top roll, that's this thing behind my bum, is that my butt hits it when I'm going down steep stuff like that. So I can't get in the, you know, the true back seat of the bike. Now on the plus side, there's a bunch of weight back there already, so my rear tire has a lot of purchase. I'm just saying, you know, like, if I'm gonna do harder stuff like a BDR, I want that top roll to be low and flat and wide. I might even get a bigger endurance stance. Not that I want to carry more stuff. I want the full width of the bike that's already got to get through whatever, and more depth. It's like a pancake that sucker down. And I'll probably have to modify this Moscow Reckless 80 a bit, because the way that they wrap around the top roll is pretty limiting. It actually pushes things up. It needs to make things go down. So I'll show you what I mean if I think of it next time I stop. This is a classic example of a difficulty 2, maybe a slightly easy difficulty 2, but difficulty 1's a gravel road, and this is a chunky, rocky road. There are a few things you want to avoid. There's cross ditches every now and then. If you've got target fixation problems, then this is going to be a challenge at times. But almost everybody can ride it too. If you can ride a bike, pick your path, don't have to worry about clutch and all that stuff anymore, or whiskey throttling. A 2 is a great place to be. Oh, this is more than a 2. Okay, that's a low 3. I don't want to do a lot of that just because I'm so new on this bike. Like, this is what, day 3 or 4? Full camping gear. I'm not going to go down or up anything I can't go the reverse direction on quite safely. Right now, this is fun. This is exactly what I love to do. This difficulty that you're looking at right here, with a really big bike, with camping gear. Dreamy. Wifey wouldn't be thrilled that I'm doing this solo, but I'm going to find out more about the 21-inch front wheel conversion because it feels weird, you know, having a little tiny tire up front. It's a 19. It's a lot easier to find tires for a 21 that are load rated for a bike like this. It'll just roll over things more easily. I'm kind of waiting for that moment where it's like, oh, okay, that was the 19 versus 21 moment. Look at this. A stream crossing, don't mind if I do. Very tiny. Whoa! That's where you can't, putting down your foot on this bike when you're small like me, small like 5'9", it is not an option. That's where you ride it like a trials bike. You just say, nope, we're getting through this thing. We're going down fully. We're not at all. In that case, not at all. Okay, this looks like it's going somewhere up. That's not for me. I'm gonna take this down and yeah. Just like that, I popped out onto a really nice paved road. Who's gonna say no to that on a bike like this? Popped out on the Trans-Canada, used another app to find a place to eat. Now I'm following Google Maps to get there. It's really about having the right ecosystem of gizmos on your smartphone to make your life fun and efficient. That was nothing short of delicious. It. That was a half day, a full day, another half day of riding. Super fun. Really enjoyable. I'm going to show you one more thing before I wrap this sucker up. So you can see my bike now has 2,033 kilometers on it. I did my oil change about 1,000 kilometers ago. And in TMA, as I wrap this up, I'm going to hit pause, finish line. I'm not going to change the name or anything. In fact, I'm going to take it out of here. I prefer using everything like this. I'm just going to zoom along here, save and device and submit. No, I'm going to do save and submit, select the bike. I'll add notes later. Pretty friggin' happy. Continue. Sorry, my intention is not to explain how all this works. This is what I want to show you. Current reading of my odometer, 2033. 2033. What this is doing is it's keeping track of my oil changes in TMA web. I indicated when I last did my oil change, and it's just got a little countdown timer to notify me when I get close and then when I go over. My bike will do that too, but I like to plan a little bit more practically. I'm going to save it for later, and that's it, folks. Success, another successful mission. Super fun. Hope you guys get something out of it. All this is in thatmotoapp.com if you want to go and check it out. Thanks. Hello everybody, I'm home. Oh, my little habitat, how I love it.